Hello, and welcome to Let's Talk Keys. Today's show, we'll be speaking about what do men really want in relationships. I have an all-male panel today, inclusive of Rodney, Eric, and Jonathan. And they will be giving us a little bit of information, or maybe a whole lot. I don't know how much beans they're prepared to spill, but we are going to learn a bit about what men really want in relationships. So, guys, thank you so much for joining. Please, let's get started. So, I'm sure my female audience are waiting to hear all of this information. What is it that you look for in a female when you're looking for a relationship, and what would you consider the ideal relationship or the ideal woman?
Well, I mean, men are extremely simple. We're not as complex as women are. I can speak for me. In a relationship, I look for someone who is not combative, someone who's understanding, who's considerate, and someone who's going to support me, and someone who's easy on the eyes. Basically, real simple. That's it.
Nothing. Go ahead, Brother Rodney.
Oh, it's on me. Well, to be honest with you, when it comes to men, we are physical beings, okay? And with men, we actually, well, just like Jonathan said, I can speak for myself. You just have to, when it comes to a female, you just have to be mindful of, are you just, you're looking to be in a relationship long term, or you have to look at it as, you have this mutual agreement where, I'm in my career, I'm doing this is my goals, if we can be halfway, potential for it to be a longer relationship, because a lot of times people go into relationships not identifying what they want, whether it's short term or long term. So that has been one of the topics that men have, shied away from and not really, mention it in the conversation. And that can become misleading. So, you have to really be mindful and careful of that. But when you look at a female, like when I was in college, when I saw my wife, it was like a light bulb went off. And with having the physical attraction, but you also want somebody that you can communicate with, that you can talk to, that you can, have a honest friendship, be friends with, that you can, because communication is everything. And men do not want to verbally admit that's what they really want, because number one, a man wants to know that, that you're happy with him. Okay. We want to know that we're happy because we are the provider, the protector, and we want to know that. But sometimes we don't verbally say that we want to know that. Then you drop the ball. That's where you drop the ball from the beginning before you get anywhere else, because you don't tell that, listen, I want you to know that you are happy with what I'm doing, because just like I'm supporting you, I want the same support back.
Oh, wow. That's a lot of great qualities. I think that's something that women would look forward to in men as well. Let's say for Eric.
Yeah, I have a whole list of really it's not that simple, and it's not that complex at the same time. And I say that because it depends on the narrative in which the question is asked, right? Personally, I've always wanted the smartest girl in the class. So that was always an attraction to me. What I really prefer is just a woman who was willing to ask her man what she wants as opposed to her girlfriends. Everything else will work itself out. We are different creatures, dogs and cats, Mars and Venus, and you need to approach it like we speak two different languages and you're trying to find some common ground. If you start the relationship off with that, you're on your way. Pretty simple, easy peasy.
I like the analysis that you made, or at least I should say the comparison between men and women. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. We do think very differently. We look at things differently, and I guess that's something that both myself and other females have to remember. That's something that we forget quite often.
Communication.
So yeah, communication is really, really important as well. So what would be some turnoffs for you in a woman?
A woman who don't listen. A woman who, for me, like I said, to speak for me, a major turnoff for me is a woman who, one, I think Eric or someone said it already, who feel like I'm supposed to read a mind, like I'm supposed to be a mind reader. A lot of women tend to, they assume that men are just supposed to know what they're thinking. And I say, use your words, communicate. I mean, as men, if we love our women, we want to please them. Just let us know what's going on in your brain so we could address the situation. So, one, a woman who assumes or expects me to read a mind, that's a turn off for me. One, a woman who was loud, just loud for no reason. That's a major turn off. And lastly, just a woman who don't listen, like who just or don't respect you or respect your thoughts. She just wants to be heard, and whatever you have to say, she's not really interested. So yeah, very simple.
You guys using that simple word a lot.
Not much.
Go ahead, Brother Rodney.
Well, the turn off for me personally is just like Jonathan was saying, you really don't want a female that's, very loud. And they use the term being outspoken, but it's not like trying to put you into place or anything like that, but it's just what a person prefers, okay? Now, you have different varieties of women, different backgrounds and stuff like that. But for me, that is just not something that will attract me to a woman. I'm more of like the old school guy. Sit back and look. I'm gonna check you out. Hands, nails, what you got on, what you're saying, your conversation. But the most important thing that's going to tell me a lot about a female is the company that you, okay? Her friends, what she want to do, where she want to go. And then that basically narrows it down because the company that she keeps is really who she is. So, it's just, it becomes real simple, but then that sometimes it can be complicated, okay?
I'd say for me, the biggest turnoff has always been someone who can't handle business. Set some goals in your life, set out to achieve those goals. And, if we're together living in one unit, I mean, we both have to be able to handle the business and carry our weight, so to speak. So I grew up in the area where a lot of the chivalry stuff that you hear about in the South was deemed disrespectful. So, the implication was that you think that a woman is too weak to do these things, right? So holding doors for a woman was deemed, hey, look, what are you trying to say? I'm too weak. And then it was weird because I ended up moving to the South and it was like, why you shut the door in my face? I'm like, I'm trying to respect you,
Yeah, so, down south, man, that's a no.
Oh man, it was a major mind shift in what's expected. So I think that's to bring that point back up. You have to, kind of meet that person you're with, from ground zero to say, hey, look, what is it? What are your expectations? What's your perspective? And then it may not be something you're accustomed to, but hey, if you guys, can meet in the middle, I think it'll all work out what you're willing to do.
Well,
Rodney, Jonathan, y'all hit on some of the other key turnoffs as well. Somebody that can't listen, always loud. I just can't deal with a lot of that. I'm pretty reserved and low key. For some people, that's an attraction, but hey, man, I'm not trying to lock you up or anything like that. But if we go out, man, let's not embarrass each other,
Right.
that kind of thing. So
Be
one
dominant
thing,
at the appropriate time.
one thing I wanted to add, women, I sometimes it's difficult getting relationship advice from women because women sometimes don't know what they want. I said what I mean. Let me qualify that by saying a woman may say they want a good guy, but just watch their actions. Most women gravitate towards the toxic guy, and eventually, I guess when they get older, they'll gravitate to the decent guy who got the stuff together. So sometimes when a woman says they want something, just watch their actions because they say one thing and they usually do the other thing. That's what I've learned in my lifetime. They say, oh, I want a guy who A, B, C, and D. You start to do that, and they still cheat on you with the guy who don't do none of that. And so sometimes you have to, as a man, you have to do what as you have to lead sometimes because a woman may say one thing and you go do that and she still leaves you say, oh, you too nice, so you too this. So sometimes as a man, you have to set your goals and you lead. Now, don't be disrespectful, but you lead the woman. And that's what I've realized.
okay,
And
teacher,
to
I have a question. So here's the thing, and I hate putting people in buckets, male, female, and stuff like that when it comes to relationships, because from my observation, a lot of problems happen because nobody's willing to say they're not ready for a relationship. There's nothing wrong with dating. There
I
is
agree.
nothing wrong with not being committed, but a lot of guys are just used to saying whatever we think that lady wants to hear, to spend that special time with her. And a lot of I met a lot of women who think, oh, my friends have these deep committed relationships, so I have to have that level of relationship. And then there you are, two people in a relationship that's not really ready to be in one. So
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
and to add to that, just like what Jonathan was saying, ladies, please. It is. I mean, I'm not trying to put you in a box or anything like that. I know we're not in slavery days or anything, but it's one thing that men want further to hear. We want you guys to be the initiator, okay? At times, okay? That is a very important part of a relationship because even though we're the man, we don't want to always be in the leadership role. We don't always, because in a relationship, it's balance, okay? It's not one side, it's supposed to be balanced, okay? But being the initiator, um, coming home from work or, working on a business project, it becomes stressful. You in a relationship, y'all see that, okay? Now it's time to be the initiator of, you know, that he's stressed, know that he has a lot on his plate. And there's nothing more attractive and appealing to a man when your woman realizes that and shows you her appreciation for what you're doing in the relationship and being the man. Getting things done.
Right.
Right, fellas?
Yep.
I agree. I agree. It's that
Very
balance. I
important.
mean, but it's about that communication. If you ask somebody up front, hey, look, what are some of your stressful situations? Well, if they're being honest, you'll get that information, right? Well, how do you like to have that addressed? I mean, we don't ask those questions. How do you handle kids? We don't ask any of that. We just assume that the way we think children should be handled and raised is what our spouse or our mate is going to do. It's full of assumptions. You have to ask these questions. But I mean, it's not the most appealing conversational topic on the first date either. Some stuff you just gonna have to work through.
And another thing with that, brothers don't take it the wrong way, brothers. Well, watching it, but don't be misleading to the ladies. When you see them and they already, they have kids, whatever. That's a package deal, bro. If your coins can't fit that, don't do that to them. Don't set up like that.
But my only advice to any younger guy who's probably watching this is, go after your goals. Women will always be there at any level of your career, or if you're just starting out, don't focus on the women right away. Try to get your career started. Try to establish yourself, because trust when I say, once you get older and more established, your options of women will open up. I'm just saying. So I'm saying, get yourself. Don't run after. That's fine to talk to women, but I'm saying, get your education, start a business, or whatever. Work on yourself, and those same women, trust when I say, they will be there. That's my advice to young men. Don't invest in depreciating. Well, I shouldn't say women depreciate, but don't invest in a woman right away if you're not secure in yourself. You work on yourself, get yourself ready, and those women, a whole plethora of women, you'll be able to you understand.
And just to piggyback what Jonathan was saying, man, I have two sons. One's a senior in college, one's a junior in college. Just spoke with them today. They just came back from Miami. My youngest son turned 21. And we were having our male conversation, and I've instilled this in them. Son, look, it's two things that won't go away. That's women and money. Mm-hmm. Get your money and get your career. Get yourself established first. Because one thing about it, going into a relationship, you have to know as a man that you're going to be able to be that provider, that protector, and to secure your family. But you can't do that when you started out and you don't have the stuff together. I have instilled that in them too, ever since we were able to have a conversation, because it's very important, because very few brothers, have been in a position where, they have good credit, no priors, not in the 3 system. And, on top of that, you have a degree in a flourishing field where that you can choose where you want to go, what you want to do, where you live, what city, what state. Put yourself in a position where you make the decision and not someone else making the decision for you. And I promise you, that will become so appealing to a female, where she will meet you at the point in time in a relationship, halfway, you bring it to the table, she bring it to the table, and then that's guys' launching pad. But for Black young men, yeah, I'm serious. I didn't start off like that, but it is a different. Once those 3 things, you don't have no priors, no felonies, good credit, and you got your college degree, man, the life is, you already grabbed life by the horns already. And your choices, you can make it you can literally say, nah, yes. Put yourself in control.
Mm-hmm. So you're saying you can swipe left or right at that point?
Up or down.
Or up or down. Or in a circle.
Hey, put yourself in that position.
Because what you don't want, trust me, I've seen this happen. What you don't want is you invest so much in a female at a young age and she still leave you in the lurch. That's hurtful, man.
Listen,
because trust me, she will listen to me. Women always have the option, especially when they're younger too. So you bust your butt working, invest on your money. There's someone comes who's more established and who's better in their career, who more value than you. You could get left because she's gonna upgrade. Not all women, but some women, at a young age, and they see someone older and more, mature and established. She might upgrade and leave you right there.
Hey, I'm at the point now where I'm like, I don't care how you look, you know, I don't
No,
care about all of
I
that.
care.
I just care how many podcast shows have you produced. That's all I want to hear, right? You know.
No. I
Yeah,
still care. I
I'm
still care,
sorry,
Eric.
no,
Eric.
no.
I mean, I'm
I
sorry,
still care. I still care.
Eric. I'm sorry, Fred. I still got to look at you. Okay.
Yeah, I
No,
care.
no, that's not what I mean. What I mean to say is
I'm just
this.
teasing,
I,
man. I'm
I
just
don't
teasing.
care
So,
if you could be a beauty queen, right? Or whatever we call a beauty queen. If you're not handling business, I don't even hear you. I don't care what you look like, because it's not about what you see in the mirror. It's about what happens when things go south, right? Are
No,
you
I don't.
with me, or are you still in the mirror? You know,
I,
you know.
I
So
don't.
that's what I need to know.
I don't think no man wants a liability. I mean, that's played out. I mean, you want an
yeah,
asset. So I agree.
yeah. You got to have some. You got to put yourself in a position in a relationship where that you do have more assets than you do liability, and that's what I call, use the term, fella, counting up the cost. So when you see this young lady, you meet her, you got to immediately start counting up the cost. Okay, can you afford it? Can you do this? Okay, what she's bringing to the table, long term, short term. Let's be real. We in 2021. People just not, this is how they're looking at things now.
But and that's why I tell young men, if you have no kids, no disrespect to the women out there, if you're young and have no kids, I don't suggest you get with a woman with 2, 3 kids. In my opinion, that's me. If you're a young guy just starting out, I don't suggest you get with a woman with 2 to 3 kids, because that will be eventually your responsibility as a man. Because there's no woman gonna get with you, don't expect you to help her out. So now you, young man with 2, 3 kids that you have to assist, and that could be a financial burden early on. That could stunt you. You see what I'm saying? So that's my advice.
No offense to the, women that do have kids, no offense to that. But you just have to put yourself in a position, man, because like I tell my sons, I can't, nobody, their mother can't. We can't control who you fall in love with.
Right?
But you got to count up the cost. You have to ask yourself this question. Can I, or I am willing to be in this for the long haul? Because there are going to be some type of consequence, because if she has kids, okay, it's a father somewhere. Father gonna make his presence. Can you
Exactly.
can
Exactly.
you deal with that? Can you
Hmm.
handle her having a conversation with him one-on-one?
But Roddy, not even that. What about the kids? After you put in so much, invest in so much schooling, and they come to you and say, "You're not my real dad." How could you handle that?
And I had that to happen to me at a younger age.
That
I was dating this girl. No lie. I took my
I,
off day to stay at home to keep her son because he was sick and couldn't go to school. He was out Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That Friday evening, he was there. He was just being disrespectful to her one minor. So I told him 3 times. And that third time, you know what he told me, Eric? He said, "You ain't my daddy."
exactly.
And I looked at him,
Exactly.
and guess what? I said, "You know what? You're right. I'm not your father." So I went
Exactly.
and got my 2, 3 shirts, my jeans. I got my Jordans, and I went and got my bomber jacket, and I left because he was right.
You can't
I
forget
knew from that point in time it was going to be a problem.
but not only that, isn't in the United States the law? See, me and Kay, we're from the Bahamas, and the laws are different. But
Yeah,
can
laws are
can
different over there.
can the women put? I mean, I guess after a certain amount of years, if you, even if you're not the biological father, she can, or the laws can make you still pay some. I'm not sure how it goes in the United States.
Nah, it's
No, they can't put your
nah,
name down. Okay,
nah. If you're
Nah,
not the
DNA test
biological
is
father,
required.
okay,
nah,
cool.
you
Okay,
can't do that. Nah, that would be a twisted law if it was. But nah, if you're not the biological father,
no,
even
okay. I
though
saw some stuff where
now if you
uh,
marry her, now you're in a
mm,
marriage and y'all get divorced, like in the state of Alabama,
you
um,
you're locked.
spouse of what they call it, alimony.
Oh, okay.
So that could be included in the divorce decree. So, you got to be careful on that. But we're not saying it in a negative way to the female, but we just want the females to understand where we're coming from because how we feel. Because a lot of times the system, especially in the state of Alabama, puts a lot of pressure on men
Yeah.
that puts you in a position that make you do things when, in all honesty, if you just had a conversation, you can work this thing out.
Mm.
Alabama laws are jacked up. I've been here all my life. They are jacked up when it comes to marriage, divorces, and for like child support and stuff. They're jacked up, man.
Before the host come back, 'cause I don't know if she went to sleep or whatever, but my only question is,
I
why?
am right here listening to you all talk.
No, I have one question for the guys. I don't know about in Alabama, and are you, Roger, you said you're from Texas?
Yeah, I'm in Dallas.
I don't know how it is over there, but a lot of women feel that. I mean, I hope it don't get demonetized, but they feel like because they give you sex, they are entitled to your money. I don't know how it is over there, but a lot of women in the Bahamas feel that once they give you a little bit of sex, they're now entitled to your money. How is it for you guys over there?
Amen. Well,
This has nothing to do.
No, I
This
know.
has nothing to
So,
do
no,
with
I
it.
know. No, I know. I just that's a question I wanted to ask two guys whilst you're on the platform. I just wanted to ask a question.
Let me just say this. I don't think it has anything to do with what island you on. It's just male and female, man. You can have two people from Brazil,
Also, same way.
Botswana, Bahamas. Trust me, man.
Also, they have that sense of entitlement as well over there too.
I'm not saying that. I'm not going to generalize it. I'm just saying it's not uncommon to see it.
yeah, it's not uncommon to see it, but at the same time, you got to establish something from the beginning, okay? I mean, if it's a mutual agreement, I'm not signing up. You got to be clear. I'm not signing up to pay rent every month, power, light, gas, or help you with car payment. Nothing. You got to have a discussion about it.
Well,
I mean, I'm just being open. They want to know what we think, what we want. But I'm telling you, because being in a marriage for 23 years, I'm telling you all, there were things that I had to learn before I got married. And I thank God that I did, man, because I wouldn't still be married. Seriously, I wouldn't. I would still be married. And that balance, brothers, like what Jonathan was saying, Jonathan is really hitting the nail on the head. But now we have to look at the times that we live in now. We have to be more, we have to express ourselves more so there is an understanding, man, because I'm telling you guys, that what we've been taught in the past, a lot of that stuff we've been taught when it comes to relationship has been absolutely incorrect, wrong. But they continue to go on and on and on about it. That's not necessarily true. Because the thing about it, when people get together, you should be adult enough to say what you guys want to do. Okay? Not going to be misled. And thank God I've never really had that issue about committing to somebody else's monthly payments because I never made promises. And that's what men mess up at. They make all these unrealistic promises to these women in the beginning, and they are going to hold you to it because you feel like you got to do that in order to get in a relationship. But let me tell y'all something, brothers. Men don't choose women, women choose men. Because when a woman see a man, she already know what she want to do, how long, it's already in their mind. They won't verbally say it, but pay attention to the sign language, their body language. I'm telling you. So all of this, we are talking, saying, man, I rapped, I did this. Man, bro, you can say that, bro, because she already knows, bro. Women choose men, men don't choose.
I think one of the biggest mistakes we make is, feeling that pressure to go ahead and just jump in a relationship, man, because you can take everything you learn in relationship number 2, try to apply it in relationship number 4, and it's as though you never even learned it, because everybody is so different. Pretty much the same things come into it, but the only way you're going to figure out how to navigate those waters is just by having that dialogue up front. you know, and hey, there's no commitment. And a lot of people will say, yeah, I'm fine with that, but they're really not true. They're really not being honest, right? So if you by the time you finish focusing on you getting that degree, you know, getting that financial status that you need and all of that,
Yep.
all the people that we're talking about right now won't even be there. They won't even be there. You're only going to be running into people at those same webinars, those same seminars. They're trying to build, you know, generational wealth and things like that. So that changes the whole game, period.
That's all I'm looking like.
So with all that said, I have a question for all of you. What advice would you give a woman to get a man to commit or to act right? Because I know that's a real popular question that women always try to figure the answer to, but they go to their female friends or family members for advice, but they don't ever hear it from the male.
My answer to that question is simple. Well, it's not simple, but stop trying to force men, or stop thinking like a woman, or think you're trying to put them. Okay, let me frame it a different way. Women tend to want men to conform to the way they think, and we're totally different. We think different. So my advice is get to know or find out what men like, and then once you start finding out what men like, they may commit to you. But a lot of women I see tend to think like a woman and want their man to be there like their girlfriend, or act like a men. We're men. So my advice, like men, since we were grown up, we were, you know, we had to study women. We had to see what they like, and we had to, okay, we know a woman wants a man with a nice car or with a nice job. So we have to learn females. And that's how we attracted women. We have to learn what women like. A lot of women don't learn what men like because they were so entitled, or they were so used to men running after them. They didn't have to do the work. Men have to do the work. So learn, I would say, get around guys. Learn what men like. And trust me, you will be ahead of the game more than your girlfriends who are going to the salon getting advice from other women. That's my 2 cents.
Eric, you want me to go?
Go ahead. You on the roll.
No, I wouldn't say that, brother. Ladies, just number one, you got to take interest in the man himself and learn how to be in a position where you can always encourage him and lift him up and not put him down. Okay. That is the solid foundation for a commitment. You have to learn his interests, what his goals are, what he's trying to do. Don't listen to your girlfriend. Tune in to him, support him. Because I'm telling you, that same girlfriend is telling you not to. If she was in your shoes, she'd be doing it. She's going to do the opposite of what she's telling you not to do. Because I'm telling you, if a man does not feel that he has that from a female that he's in a relationship with, he's looking somewhere else already. He won't tell you, but he is, because the interest, once you pique that interest, you've already invested in the long-term relationship. And yes, we are simple. When we find that out, we're on the ground, we're running. We get out grind on, because now I know I got somebody that has my back, that's going to support me. Just like Eric said, now I know you want to support me. You want to know my goals. We put our goals together with a plan, a 5-10-year plan. Like Eric said, now I know you can handle business when I ain't there. I got somebody that can handle business with me, and I'm not there. But the foundation is established, is set. Like I said earlier, women, female, be the initiator. Be the initiator. And we were just following suit, because now you piqued our interest. We have a support system. See, men don't want everybody supporting them.
I agree 100% with you, brother. I mean, it's really more simple than we try to make it. If you want somebody to be committed to you, first of all, ask the person you're with if that's what they want, if they're committed to commitment at that point and stage in their lives, right? I mean, you can't confuse chemistry and attraction with long-term relationship goals, right? I've seen where a lot of women say, "Oh man, oh, he's smart. I want him." Yeah, but you don't really like all the attributes of those nerdy smart kids, though. Do you? If you're being honest, well, I just know he fits the mold of what I'm supposed to have. No, what do you want? And it's
Right.
okay for that person not to check all the boxes right there. You have to be okay with that. First of all, you're okay with the fact that this is not going to work out. The best thing that can happen to a relationship that doesn't last is that it doesn't work out in the beginning, because you had that conversation, you see where this person is, because things can change, right? But again, hey, if you spend that time with them, support them, find out what they want, and just say, how can I help, what can I do? That one question goes about 5 years. 5 years. I've spent 5 years in previous relationships trying to, beg for support. Hey, I'm trying to start this business, that business. And, my wife, we've been together, 20 years total. It's in 5 minutes came in. Hey, okay, what you need me to do? I'm like, whoa, what? I don't even know how to respond to that question. I've never had that before. It's not as common as we would like to believe. So it all starts there, man.
So what happens in the instance where she's doing everything, all of
Uh,
the
uh, uh,
suggestions that you gave?
so no, stop there. See, that's one of the main examples of how different we are. See, a word like everything will mean one thing to a female, and it'll mean something else to a man. And it doesn't matter what the specifics are. So, like if you say, hey, look, what if I said, hey, give me those three things that you want me to do, and I do those three things, and then then it's not working out. That person's not being honest with you, and that happens a lot, right? So in that case, everything is valid. But I've seen, hey, I've done everything. Well, what do you call everything? I cooked him breakfast. What about lunch and dinner? I mean, so we all got different definitions of everything. But
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
I did
that
every
was always a stickler for me, man.
I did everything that one day. Okay, that was Monday. What about Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday?
I've been guilty of that. I've been told, well, yeah, dude, but I mean, you don't get like a receipt and a reward for it. This is just something that, I've asked to have happen all the time whenever you see me needing that. So yeah. But anyway, you were saying if she
Yes.
does everything.
So if she's doing everything and he's still not giving her what it is that she wants in terms of the commitment or seeming interested, should she just assume that he's not interested, or should she just
No, no,
assume
no.
that?
You don't make stop assuming. Ask the questions. Talk to him, and hold on. Sorry.
Nothing. He got
Oh, I
knocked
think he
out.
got disconnected. He should hopefully soon join again. Yeah, but the saying, he's just not that interested. You have some females, they're asking the guy, and the guy is basically not being honest with them.
Yeah, I say take the signals that you're being given and move on.
Yeah, the
That's the
So
quickest
signals
what
way
are
to
that
get
some
them
of
to come back
look for the red flags.
and just roll.
what
And
are some of those?
So when
uh,
you're not when somebody's not paying attention to you, when you have communicated any way you feel comfortable, because at some point we need to start trying to proactively figuring out what you want. It's not like you got to fill out a form every day, but if you're not getting what you want, you communicate, hey, look, this is not working for me, and be willing to move on. I know a lot of women that commit years in a dead end relationship for no reason, and I'm like, why are you still with this dude? And they want to, and
still being
they'll
alone.
tell 15 people about the misery, and they'll be there 15
And
years.
still don't
I
go
don't
nowhere
understand that. Move on, because they have.
because the red flags are there. When you see them, you're not married, there's nothing bonded. Well, I done put 5 years. Okay, just chop it up. learning experience. Sister, move on. Don't
So
waste your time. Because one thing about it, it's always something better. But you can never find what's better when you become bitter.
oh, that is so true. I love that. You can never find better if you're still bitter.
That's
That
it.
right there, that's powerful.
Stillbitter.com. T-shirts are available on Instagram. I like that, man. Stillbitter.com. We're gonna make that happen, Frat.
Let's make it happen, Blue.
Yes.
And that's what a lot of females are. They're so bitter, they can't become better because
But
they
but
was in that dead end relationship, knowing they should have moved on, but they were fearful of what people gonna say and thinking that they cannot do better. Most women think they can't make it without that guy that they done been with and ain't went nowhere in 10, 15 years. That's a decade. Come on. I mean, let's be realistic. You cannot become better when you've already become bitter. It's not,
That is
it's
so
no kind of way
true.
it's going to work.
I mean, as
That
much
is
as you
so
can
true.
appreciate a woman willing to put in that much work, it's, you know, if you're working, on a dead end project, just move on and save more of yourself for yourself.
Right. That's Jonathan back.
Yeah, so I got two calls. Um, the only point I was making before I got interrupted is a man knows what he wants and if he wants a woman or not. I mean, not to give away the man, too much information on men, but usually some men tend to how placeholders. I like you, but I don't see myself with you in the long term. So I tend to kind of, you know, I'm not doing everything I know I should do because I don't really want you per se, but I don't want to be alone. So sometimes, because if a man loves a woman, he's gonna do. He don't want to lose her, so he's gonna try to act right, try to do certain things because he see a future with this woman, and so he's gonna do certain things to try to build a future. But if I know, you know, I don't really, I don't want to be alone, but I don't see myself with you. I don't want to commit. I don't really want to commit because you're you're a placeholder. I can't remember what the question was, but I think that's about a guy who don't want to commit. He don't want to commit because in my opinion, I'm speaking for my experience. Nobody else here. Usually, when a man don't commit, is because sometimes he don't see you too far in the future with him. That's my 2 cents.
After
All
5 years
right.
in a relationship, no commitment.
Yeah, it's a reason. It's a reason why.
There's a reason.
Trust.
You don't have to wonder. There's a reason. You know
Yeah.
the reason. You just don't want to
No,
accept.
yeah, there you go. There you go.
Hey,
So
what they
basically,
said.
if it seems as if he's not interested, he's not.
Yeah,
In other
listen to
words,
me. No guy wants to lose someone he's really in love with. So if I'm not claiming, ask any guy. If he truly loves a woman, he's gonna try to claim her. He's gonna lock her down. He don't want to. He don't even want to. He don't want to look at nobody else or even have the chance to look at someone else. So he's gonna do what he got to do to make this woman his woman. But if like I said, 5 years after 5 years, trust. I don't really want you. I mean, I
Yeah.
like you, but I don't really
Don't
want
put
you.
for females, don't put yourself in a position where you become a place in his space. Okay.
If the energy you put into attracting this man doesn't equal the energy it takes to keep the attraction, you might be in the wrong relationship.
And guys, that goes for you too. It's not only one side of it.
It's two sides.
If a woman's not acting right, trust me, there's someone else whispering in the air. What do they call it? The work husband? Got attention.
so Those work husbands working overtime nowadays.
Ooh. Or that so-called best friend, that so-called male best friend, who's don't trust. I don't trust him.
Hey, that's a whole different podcast, brother.
Yeah, that's a whole different topic there, John.
Truth be told, I love it.
All righty. So my next question was going to be, what advice would you leave with a woman before we go? But I think you all already gave a whole lot of keys and great advice. So hopefully all the women listening are going to use the information they receive and venture into more positive relationship experiences.
Sure.
So thank you guys so much for joining. I definitely had a great time with you. I really enjoyed the conversation. It was very, very informative. And I hope you don't get fussed or riled from the other guys for giving out some of the information that you hold secret. But I'm sure the female audience are definitely going to appreciate all of the information that we received. So everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. If you have not already done so, please like, follow, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Shanice Hanna-Wife Mom Mogul. And also you can follow me on Instagram, Shanice Hanna, as well as Facebook, Shanice Hanna-Wife Mom Mogul. Thank you, everyone, and have a great evening.
Good night.
Good night. Thanks for the invitation. Nice meeting you, fellas,
Not a
man.
problem.
Same to you guys.
Enjoyed it.
Same to you.